Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone and welcome you again. Now let's start our lesson by looking at our value.
مدرسة المجتمع الابتدائية الإعدادية الخاصة بالبنات.
Okay, now let's start our lesson. Today we are going to study Unit 3, Lesson 8, Student Book, page 35. And our objectives, by the end of this lesson, student will be able to the form and the use of the present perfect by answering the given questions correctly. Then we are going to differentiate between has been, has gone, by matching them to their corresponding phrases. Number 3, practice using present perfect form in 6 given sentences correctly. Okay, then we are going to move on to our vocabulary. We have here the word present perfect, has and have and has, ever, never, already, yet, just, so far, and always. Okay, now let us start our lesson by looking at the
GoEnglish.tv. The present perfect. When do we use the present perfect? 1.
To describe an experience.
I have traveled the world. James has met the president. I have never been to space.
To describe a change over a period of time.
House prices have increased a lot. Andrew has grown since the last time I saw him. This restaurant has become very popular.
To describe accomplishments.
Doctors have discovered cures for many diseases. Man has been to the moon. The computer has made it possible to learn online.
Okay, get the point. So we are going to talk about present perfect tense. Okay, as mentioned in the video, we are going to form the sentence. For my sentence, I use the helping verb here, has and have, plus past participle of the verb, or verb 3. We use it to, I have here the timeline starting from the past to the present, continue to the future. I'm talking about the activity that started in the past and continues to the present, or I can say the result of this action continued to the present. Okay, now let's talk about this one in detail. How can I form this sentence using present perfect tense? I usually start my sentence by using the subject. So I have here the subject, I, you, they, and we call this one a singular subject, that's right. And I have she, he, and it, this one. So again, I, you, they, you are what? Are the plural subject. I use with them have. So my sentence should be I have decided, followed by the main verb, which is past participle or verb 3. They have, we have, and you have finished. Got the point? Now let's move on to talk about she, he, and it. This one considered to be what? That's right, a singular subject. And for singular subject, I use what? Has, gone, then the past participle. So she has gone, he has gone, and it has gone. Okay? Now let's continue. How can I form a question? Okay, we done with with the sentence. How can I form a sentence? Now let's move on to the present perfect and question. How can I form a question? As I told you before, to form any question, I should what? Start my sentence using a helping verb. And for the present perfect, I use have for the plural and has for the singular subject. That's right. Let us see how the sentence will be. So my sentence was, I have done. That's right. To form a question, I put the helping verb at the beginning. Have I done? Have you played? Has he written? Has she read? Has it slept? Have we traveled? Have you been? Have they put? Okay? Did you get how can I form a question? That's right. Now, let us continue with the negative form. How can I negate my sentence in the present perfect tense? Have a look at here. I have the singular, and the side I have the singular subject. I have I, you, and for singular I use he, she, it, and for a plural we continue with you, we, and they. Okay, how can I form the negative? I can add not to the helping verb. Again, the use of helping verb is number one to form a question and what to form negative. So I have. It would be I haven't played, you haven't walked, he has, plus not will be hasn't done, she hasn't seen, and it hasn't seen. Okay? Let us continue with the plural subject. You have, will not will be you haven't taught, we haven't studied, they haven't, for example, played. Okay? Now we studied how to form sentence and question and negative using present perfect tense. Okay, now how can I answer my questions? I have here the short answers. You know that I have a short answer. For example, do you have to? For example, my answer will be yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Yes, you have. No, you haven't. Notice that. I have noticed the subject here. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. I remain the subject the same. Yes, you have. No, you haven't. And yes, she has. No, she hasn't. Okay, got this one? Have a look at this one. I need just to follow and write these structures in your notebook. Okay. Now, how can I use just, already, and yet? Okay, I want you to think about this one. Pause the video, read these sentences, then we are going to discuss them together. Have a look. We use just when an action happened recently. So when can I use just? When the action happened recently. I have just eaten breakfast. That means happened recently. That's right. We use already. When can I use already? When an action happened sooner than expected. So I expected this one to be later on, but it happened sooner. I have already finished page 20. That's right. And what about yet? We use yet when we think an action will happen soon. I haven't eaten lunch yet. So we expect this one to happen, but soon. Okay? Now, let's talk about the time expressions. I have here yet and so far. I use yet for question and negative sentence. By usual, this one comes at the end of the sentence. And I have so far to form a question and negative sentence. Again, okay? Have you finished this book yet? No, I am on page 56. Okay? How many pages have you read? I have read, notice here, I have read 56 pages so far. Okay? So I use yet and so far to form question and negative. Yet for the question and negative, and so far for question and positive. Okay, notice the difference here. Okay, now we are going to practice. Just a quick check that you understand this one. we are going to choose the correct word. I has not worked today. What do you think? I, for sure, I have. So with I, we use have. We have bought or bought a new lamp. What do you think? So that's right. After the helping verb, I have the verb past participle or the verb 3. Buy, bought. We haven't planned our holiday. What do you think? I use never or yet. I have to use what? Negative. For negative, I use what? Yet. That's right. Where have you been? What do you think? Where have you? Where or? That's right. Been. We use the past participle of the verb. He has or have. He has 5 letters. So far or ever. So far. We use so far here for the positive sentence. That's right. Now I want you just to open your student book at exercise 3, page 35. We are going to fill the table with a suitable verb. So I have here this one: cold, colds, cold, and have cold. This is continued at the same way. For example, left, and so on. I want you just to pause the video now. Answer this question, okay? Okay, let's see. So the present of left is left, and the past left, perfect is left. I have pulled, drank, drank, drunk. Make, made, and made. That's right. Swim, swam, and swam with you here. Study, studied, and studied. Okay, we are going to revise this one and try to memorize them. Okay, now we are going just to practice more. I upload here a worksheet for you. We are going to choose the correct answer. Okay, just I want you to pause the video now, answer this question. Let's then come back to check. Okay, let's see. Hamad has never flown. That's right. For Hamad, he's a singular. I use have. Then I have never, and the past participle of fly is flown. Have a look at number 2, a snack. What do you think? How can I form a question here? Have you ever touched a snake? That's right. Okay. Now, number 3, we have already seen the film at home. Okay, so I use here have because I have a plural subject. Then I use seen, the past participle of the verb. Okay, what you are going to do now is you are going to write 3 sentences using present perfect tense. Just I want you to write this one in your notebook. Okay, let's have a look at this one. I have already done my homework. Hamad has lived in Doha for 3 years. For example, I haven't traveled to London yet. Okay, try to write this sentence. In a positive sentence, negative sentence, I'll try to form question. Okay? Now, I want you just to move on to your homework. You are going to study and practice the new vocabulary and rules. Yeah? I want you just to do the exercise in your homework, as a homework, okay, in your workbook. And for closure, for our lesson today, I give more examples using the present perfect. So I want you to write another examples by forming a present perfect sentences and the question. Okay, that was everything for our lesson today. Hope you get benefit from this one. If you have any questions, just please label this one and ask me in the school. And see you next time, inshallah.